Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Is my voice is audible to you? Hello. Is I am audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is a message. First, I want to say, Shochin Chhatra. You are asked to join with your ID. Your ID is not given in your username, so I afraid that your attendance will not be counted for this class. So please change your username according to the rule. And this is a message to seers. Amit Kumar Shukla is in the waiting lobby, but he has not changed the username according to the ID. So I cannot allow him. Please tell him to change his user ID according to the rule so that I can allow him to the classroom. So I am again repeating, Mr. Start today's class. So last day, I think we have started ordinary differential equation, the series solution of ordinary differential equation. Okay, and let us recall some important points from the previous class. Uh, so last day, I have said that ordinary differential equation in the previous semester we have learned how to deal with the ordinary differential equation with constant coefficients. Okay, now we know how to find the solution of a ordinary differential equation with variable coefficient. When the ordinary differential equation has variable coefficient, we know how to find the answer of the ordinary differential equation with variable coefficients when the equation with variable coefficient is reducible to an equation of constant coefficient. Sorry, the train is going on.
স্যার মাইকে ট্রেন চলার মতো আওয়াজ আসছে স্যার।
ট্রেনই চলছে, ওই জন্য চুপ করে আছি।
আচ্ছা স্যার।
So okay,
हेलो
let's
सर।
resume the class. Yes.
सर
हाँ.
सर सचिन सात्रा जो है उसने अभी मीटिंग लेफ्ट किया है, वो अपना नाम चेंज करके दोबारा आ रहा है।
अच्छा ठीक है. Okay, let's start again. So, whenever an ordinary differential equation with variable coefficient is reducible to a equation of constant coefficient, we know how to deal with this. This is a classic example of a such type of equation is Cauchy-Euler equation. By giving the transformation x equal to e to the power t to the Cauchy-Euler equation, which is the equation of variable coefficient, we make it to a equation of constant coefficient. We solve the equation of constant coefficient by again substituting the transform x equal to e to the power t. We find the answer. Okay. But what happens when a equation of variable coefficient is not reducible to a equation of constant coefficient? Okay. Whenever a equation, ordinary differential equation with variable coefficient is not reducible to a constant equation of constant coefficient, then we use the power series solution. Then we use the power series solution about a point x equal to x0, suppose. Now, in the last class, we know about the point x, know about the nature of the points x equal to x0. That is, we know the what is a ordinary point. We know what is a regular singular point. We know what is a irregular singular point. Now, while solving a differential equation to a power series in a power series, we have to find the power series solution about a point x equal to x0. Okay, about a point x equal to x0, and in the question you will be given to the such in such a way that find the power series solution of this equation about this point. Okay, so a point will be given and you will be find the power series solution about that point. Now the algorithm depends on the nature of the point. If the point x equal to x0 is an ordinary point, then there is an algorithm. Okay. If the point x equal to x0 is a regular singular point, then there is another algorithm. If the point x equal to x0 is the irregular singular point, then there is another algorithm. Okay. So according to the nature of the point x equal to x0, the algorithm of finding the solution changes. Okay. So you have to first, whenever you are given a differential equation and asked to find the power series solution about a point x equal to x0, say about a point, suppose x equal to x0, then your first job is to find the nature of the point. Okay, that is, you have to find whether this is a ordinary point of the equation, or this is a regular singular point of the equation, or this is a irregular singular point of the equation. Yes. Yes.
স্যার একজন আছে অমিত বলে, তো ও অ্যাকচুয়ালি বললো যে ওর সাইন ইন করে ঢুকতে হবে, মানে ওকে পাসওয়ার্ড দিয়ে না জয়েন করলে ওর নামটা চেঞ্জ করতে পারবে না, মানে অমিত দেখাবে বাট আইডিটা দিতে পারছে না। থেকে এন্টার করছে ও বললো, তো ও বললো কি এন্টার করতে আমার কাছে আমার হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
আমি কি করব তাহলে বলো?
ওকে অ্যাডমিট করে দিন, না হলে আপনার কাছে যদি কোনো পাসওয়ার্ড থাকে সেটা ওকে দিতে হবে।
পাসওয়ার্ড তো যা দিয়েছি, এছাড়া তো আর নতুন কিছু পাসওয়ার্ড নেই তো। আর কি পাসওয়ার্ড
তাহলে স্যার আপনি অ্যাডমিট করে দিন না, অমিত দেখাচ্ছে আইএস।
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, এখন এই মুহূর্তে দেখাচ্ছে না, ও এলে পরে আমি অ্যাডমিট করে দিচ্ছি ওকে, ঠিক আছে?
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, থ্যাংক ইউ।
So whenever you are given a ordinary differential equation and you are asked to find the power series solution of that differential equation about a point x equal to x0, suppose about the point x equal to x0, then your first step is to find that whether the given point x equal to x0 is an ordinary point, or it is a regular singular point, or it is a irregular singular point. Okay, now in the previous class we know how to find the nature of of such type of points. That is how to find the ordinary point, how to find it is a regular singular point. We know about all these things. Now you will apply that. So step 1 is to find the nature of the point, of the given point. If the given point is an ordinary point, then the algorithm of power series solution has been discussed in the previous day. Today we will again recall the algorithm. Okay. So let me annotate, start annotation. Okay. So we'll start from step 1. So my step 1 is to check that whether x equal to x0 is an ordinary point of the given equation. Okay, so we know how to check this. If the suppose the given equation is y double dashed plus pxy dashed plus qxy equal to 0, this is the standard form of the given equation. Okay, standard form of the equation we are dealing in this chapter. Now, if px and qx are analytic at the point x equal to x0, then x equal to x0 is an ordinary point of the given equation. So in step 1, we have to check that whether px and qx are analytic at the point x equal to x0 or not. Okay, if px and qx are analytic at the point x equal to x0, then x equal to x0 is an ordinary point of the given equation. Okay, now say x equal to x0 is an ordinary point. We are considering x equal to x0 is an ordinary point. Then we go to step 2. Now in step 2, what we have, we consider a infinite series. We consider y as an infinite series about the point x equal to x0. That is this, about the point x equal to x0. That is an infinite series. N runs from 0 to infinity summation an x minus x0 to the power n. An is the arbitrary constants, ans are the arbitrary constants here. Okay, so this y looks like a0 plus, for n equal to 0, a0 x minus x0 to the power 0, that is 1, so a0. For n equal to 1, a1 x minus x0. For n equal to 2, a2 x minus x0 whole square, and so on. So this y, we consider this y, which is an infinite series about the point x equal to x0, as a solution of the given differential equation. But here is an observation. Okay, this y, we are considering it as a solution, but see that the y contains infinite number of arbitrary constants. This a0, a1, a2, a3, a4, a5, all these are arbitrary constants. Since y is an infinite series, then it contains infinite number of arbitrary constants, a0, a1, a2, a3, a4, a5, and so on. So there are infinite number of arbitrary constants in the considered solution. Okay, but see that the given differential equation is of order 2. The order of the given differential equation is 2, and we know that the number of arbitrary constants in the solution of a differential equation is equal to the order of the differential equation. I again repeat, the number of the arbitrary constants in the solution of a differential equation is equal to the order of the differential equation. Now the given equation is of order 2. So the number of arbitrary constants in the solution of this equation should be 2. Okay, so y, the solution of this differential equation, the number of arbitrary constants in the solution will be 2. But here we see that in our considered solution, the number of arbitrary constant is infinite. So what we want to do in our next steps? In our next steps, our objective is to reduce the number of arbitrary constants from infinity to 2. Okay, since the solution contains 2 arbitrary constants, so our aim is to reduce the number of arbitrary constants in y from infinity to 2. And for that purpose, we fix 2 arbitrary constants, a0 and a1. two arbitrary constants a0 and a1 are fixed. We fixed a0 and a1, these two arbitrary constants. And then there are remaining arbitrary constants a2, a3, a4, a5 and so on. So my next intention is to write these remaining arbitrary constants a2, a3, a4, a5 and so on in terms of a0 or a1. Okay, I am repeating again. The number of the order of the given differential equation is 2. So the solution of the given differential equation, so the number of arbitrary constants in the solution of the given differential equation will be 2. But here in our considered solution, we consider solution that is in the infinite series y, we see that the number of arbitrary constants is infinity. A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5 and so on. It is an infinite series. So number of arbitrary constants is infinity. So here in next steps, my intention is to reduce the number of arbitrary constants in y from infinity to 2. We have to make a solution where there is 2 arbitrary constants. So we have to reduce the number of arbitrary constants to 2. And for that purpose, we fix 2 arbitrary constants a0 and a1. We fix these 2 arbitrary constants a0 and a1 and try to write the remaining arbitrary constants a2, a3, a4. These are the remaining arbitrary constants. We try to write these remaining arbitrary constants in terms of a0 and a1. Okay, this is my intention. This is my aim. Okay, so to do so, in step 3, we find the first order and second order derivative of y. We have considered y as this. This is the first order derivative, and this is the second order derivative of y. Okay, now this has been said in the last class. So I am going to the next page. So here step 4. Step 4 is we put the values of these y dashed, y dashed and y double dashed in the given equation. So my given equation was this. We put the values of y dashed and y double dash that we have found in the previous step. We put these values in the given equation, and so that we get this type of equation. Okay. Now step 5. In step 5, we equate to 0 the coefficient of various powers of x minus x0. Okay. So each term contains x minus x0. Each term contains x minus x0. Okay. So we equate to 0 the coefficient of various powers of x minus x0 from this equation, and we find the coefficients, remaining coefficients a2, a3, a4 in terms of a0 and a1. In fact, equating to the 0 to the coefficient of x minus x0 to the power n, we get a recurrence relation, and from that recurrence relation we get a2, a3, a4, that is the remaining arbitrary constants in terms of a0 and a1. Okay, now this thing is seems to be little bit messy, but whenever we will consider a problem, then it will be clear to us. Okay, in the next topic we will consider an exercise, and while solving the exercise it will be clear how to find the recurrence relation, and from that recurrence relation how to find the a2, a3, a4 or a5, that is the remaining arbitrary constants in terms of a0 and a1. Okay, now for the time being, you just think that in step 5 we have find a2, a3, a4 in terms of a0 and a1. Okay, now
What has happened in the step 4? That summation is equal to infinity.
yes, step 4, what? Please say again.
What has happened in that? How I have written it in the form of the equal number of coefficients.
How I have? I don't get your question. Please.
I mean that suppose the order of the differential equation is 2. So I need to write it in the form that I have 2 coefficients in the solution. So how I have done it over here in this summation series.
No, this is not a solution. I just considered a solution which has an infinite number of arbitrary constants. Okay, now I have written in the given differential equation as I have considered is a solution, but this is not a solution. My aim is to, I have considered a solution which has infinite number of arbitrary constants, but I want to reduce the number of arbitrary constants to 2. And to doing so, I am writing this. Since I have considered it as solution, so I can writing as I consider the solution must satisfy the differential equation. Okay.
So
It's
can you
just-
show the last page?
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Got it, you? You got it? Okay. So now for the time being, let us assume that we have find A2, A3, A4 in terms of A0 and A1 from the recurrence relation. Now in step 6, we put the step 6, the y, the value, the y was A0 plus A1 x minus x0, that is, this was my y. Now in step 6, we put the values of A2, A3, A4, which I have found in terms of A0 and A1 in y. We put these values, okay, in y. So we get y, there are in y, there are only two arbitrary constants, either terms containing A0 or terms containing A1. So separate terms containing A0 and terms containing A1, take common A0 from the first part, then we get A0 into some terms of x, that is A0 phi x, we name it as function of x phi x, plus A1, we take common A1 into some function of x, we terms it as psi x. So this is the solution. We consider it as the power series solution of the given differential equation, where we have two arbitrary constants, namely A0 and A1. Okay, so in this way, this is the algorithm by which we can find a power series solution of a differential equation about an ordinary point x equal to x0. Okay, let us look for an example. Things will be more clearer. I assure you. So we are going to an example. This is an ordinary differential equation, d2y dx2 plus x dy dx plus y equal to 0, and you are asked to find the solution, power series solution of this ODE about the point x equal to 0. Okay, so you are asked to find the power series solution of this ordinary differential equation about the point x equal to x0. See, here is an observation. You are not given that whether x equal to 0 is an ordinary point or a regular singular point or irregular singular point. You don't know the nature of the point x equal to x0. So step 1, your step 1 is find x equal to x0 is an ordinary point or not. That is, find the nature of the point x equal to x0. Okay, so now the given equation is given by, this is equation 1. So this equation is in the standard form, that is the coefficient of d2y dx2 is 1, the coefficient of dy dx is a function of x, that is x, and the coefficient of y is another function of x, that is x square. So comparing with the standard form d2y dx2 px dy dx plus qxy equal to 0, we get px equal to x and qx equal to x square. Now px equal to x and qx equal to x square. Concentrate on this. This px and qx are both polynomial functions, and we know that polynomial functions are analytic everywhere. Px and qx are analytic functions, and we know that analytic functions are analytic everywhere. So px and qx are both analytic at the point x equal to 0. Px and qx are both polynomial functions and therefore analytic everywhere. So px and qx are analytic, both analytic at the point x equal to 0. So x equal to 0 is an ordinary point of equation 1. So I can follow the algorithm which we have learned earlier. Okay, so in step 2, So we are going to follow the previous algorithm. In step 2, we consider the solution as an infinite series about the point x equal to 0. We consider the solution as an infinite series about the point x equal to 0. That is, the series is summation n runs from 0 to infinity an x minus x0 whole to the power n. We are writing this thing in some simplified form. This is nothing but summation n equal to 0 to infinity an x to the power n. Okay. Now, if we expand this summation, we find that this y is equal to a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube and so on. So that is, in y there are infinite number of arbitrary constants a0, a1, a2, a3, a4 and so on. But the given differential equation is of order 2. The highest order of the given differential equation is 2. That is the given differential equation. The highest order derivative is 2. So the order of the given differential equation is 2. So the solution of the given differential equation must contain 2 arbitrary constants. Okay, but in our considered solution y, there are infinite number of arbitrary constants. So my job is to reduce the number of arbitrary constants to 2. So for that purpose, we again fix a0 and a1 as 2 arbitrary constants, and our intention is to write the remaining arbitrary constants a2, a3, a4, a5 and so on in terms of a0 and a1. Okay, so to do so, in step 3 we find dy dx and d2y dx2. So y is given by summation n runs from 0 to infinity an x to the power n. The first order derivative dy dx is summation n equal to 1 to infinity n an x to the power n minus 1. Here summation runs from n equal to 1 because for n equal to 0, since there is a n here, therefore for n equal to 0, this gives 0. So exactly the non-zero terms start from n equal to 1. So the summation runs from n equal to 1. And d2y dx2 is summation n equal to 2 to infinity n into n minus 1 an x to the power n minus 2. Here also the exact non-zero term starts from n equal to 2 because for n equal to 0 we get a 0, and for n equal to 1, since there is n minus 1, it gives 1 minus 1 0, so the second term is also 0. So the terms start from n equal to 2. The non-zero terms start from n equal to 2. So this dy dx runs from n equal to 1 and d2y dx2 runs from n equal to 2. Now, up to this point, if anyone has any doubt, you can ask me. So before going to the next page, please ask me if you have any doubt up to this point.
Please repeat that step once more.
Yes,
That's the third step once more.
third step.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I am repeating step 3. So I am repeating step 3 again. So in step 3, in step 2, we have considered y as an infinite series about the point x equal to 0, and this is this infinite series. And in step 3, our job is to find dy dx and d2y dx2. That is the first order derivative and the second order derivative. So y is given by this summation n equal to 0 to infinity an x to the power n, and the first order derivative dy dx is equal to summation n equal to 1 to infinity. Summation n equal to 1 to infinity n comes to the front n an x to the power n minus 1. Okay, that is simple derivative to x to the power n. So here the main intention is to summation runs from n equal to 1. I want to elaborate this thing. N runs from the summation runs from n equal to 1 to infinity. Why it is not running from n equal to 0? Because whenever n equal to 0, if we expand the summation, whenever n equal to 0, there is an n. There is an n in front of the whole an x to the power n thing. So when there is n equal to 0, here is an n. You can see here is an n. So when n equal to 0, these all things goes to 0. So the non-zero terms start from n equal to 1. Therefore, the summation starts from n equal to 1. Okay, and again in d2y dx2, here the summation starts from n equal to 2. Why? Because for n equal to 0, for this n, the term for the term goes to 0, and for n equal to 1, these terms n minus 1, that is, this will be 1 minus 1, so this will be 0. So for n equal to 1, the second term will be 0. Okay, so actually non-zero terms starts from n equal to 2. So the summation runs from n equal to 2. So this is the first order derivative dy dx and second order derivative d2 by dx2. Now, any more doubt?
Sir.
So can I go to the next page? Okay, I am going to the next page then. So in step 3 we have found, in step 2 and step 3 we have found y dy dx and d2y dx2, and step 4 is to put the values of y dy dx and d2y dx2 in equation 1, that is in the given equation. So the given equation was d2y dx2 x dy dx plus x squared equal to 0. Now putting the values of y dy dx d2y dx2 that we have found in our previous step, we get in place of d2y dx2 we put the value of d2y dx2, that is n transform 2 to infinity n into n minus 1 n x to the power n minus 2 plus x into dy dx. In place of dy dx we have put the values of dy dx that we found in step 3. X square y, this is x square into y. Y is nothing but summation n equal to 0 to infinity n x to the power n equal to 0. Now in this step we multiply this x with x to the power n minus 1. Okay, and this x square with x to the power n. Okay, so multiply, so this d2y dx2 term remains unchanged, this term is remain unchanged. So by multiplying x with x to the power n minus 1 we get x to the power n here. Okay, and by multiplying x square with x to the power n here we get x to the power n plus 2. Okay, and the summation as usually it runs from n equal to 2, it runs from n equal to 1, and it runs from n equal to 0. So in step 4 we put the values of y dy dx d2y dx2 that we have found in the previous steps to the given equation. Okay, so here we have put the values of y d2y dy dx and d2y dx2 in the given equation, and the next is to multiply the function x with the x in the x which is inside the summation. This multiply x outside and inside. Okay, so make the algebraic manipulations just. So we get equation 3 and we name this as equation 3. Now here is an observation. Okay, here we see that equation 3 contains 3 terms. Equation 3 contains 3 terms. This is the first term, this is the second term, and this is the third term. That is 3 summations actually. Okay, but the observation is that the 3 summations starts from 3 different points. Okay, the first summation starts from n equal to 2, the second summation starts from n equal to 1, and the third summation starts from n equal to 0. Okay, This is first observation. And the second observation is that each term contains x, but the power of x is different in each term. In the first term, the power of x is n minus 2. In the second term, the power of x is n. And in the third term, the power of x is n plus 2. Okay. So the power of x is different in each term, and the summation runs from 3 different points. So let's concentrate on the power of x. Okay. So in step 5, in each term, we have to make the power of x as n. Okay, here n minus 2, n plus 2. Okay, in step 5, my objective is to make sure that n is the power of x in each term. Where there is the power of x is not n minus not n, we have to make it as x to the power n. Where the power of x is not n, we have to make sure that the power of x is n. But why we do so? Why we make the power of x as n? Because to find the recurrence relation, I have said earlier that to find the recurrence relation, we have to make the coefficient of x to the power n 0. We equate the coefficient of x to the power n to 0 to find the recurrence relation. Okay, since each term has different power of x, we have to make it as x to the power n, so that we can equate the power coefficient of x to the power n from each term. Okay, here in equation 3, each term contains different power of x, but to find the recurrence relation, we have to equate to 0 the coefficient of x to the power n. Okay, so in equation 3, we make sure that each term we make sure that n is the power of x in each term, so that we can equate the coefficient of x to the power n from each term to 0. Okay, so in step 5, my job is to make sure that n is the power of x. So where the power of x is not n, make sure that it should be n. So let us first concentrate on first term. This is the first term. Let us first concentrate on this term. So first term is summation n runs from n equal to 2 to infinity n into n minus 1 n x to the power n minus 2. The power of x is n minus 2, but we have to make it n. So to do this, we put n equal to n plus 2. Why n equal to n plus 2? Because if we replace n by n plus 2 here in the power of x, we have n plus 2 minus 2. This plus 2 and minus 2 cancel out, so the power of x becomes n. Okay, so the first term is power of x equal to x to the power n minus 2. So to make it as x to the power n, we write n equal to n minus 2. That is, we replace all the n's in first term by n plus 2. Okay, so the first term was summation n runs from 2 to infinity n into n minus 1 n x to the power n minus 2. We put n plus 2 in place of n. We replace n by n plus 2. So n plus 2 equal to 2 to infinity n plus 2 minus 1 a n plus 2 x to the power n plus 2 minus 2. Okay, then after some algebraic manipulation, that is n plus 2 equal to 2. So plus 2 minus 2. So see here, see the lower limit of the summation. See the lower limit of the summation here. Summation n plus 2 here. 2. So this plus 2 in the right hand side and the plus 2 in the left hand side and the 2 in the right hand side cancel out. So n runs from 0 to infinity. N plus 2 remains unchanged. N plus 2 minus 1, that is n plus 1, a n plus 2. So a n plus 2 x to the power n, that is this plus 2 and minus 2 in the power of x cancel out. This plus 2 and minus 2 cancel out. So x to the power n. So in first term, by replacing n by n plus 2, we got the power of x as n. Okay. Now in second term, see the second term. The second term is this. Okay. Now the second term is summation n equal to 1 to infinity n x to the power n, and the power of x is n here. So we have nothing to do. The power of x is n, so we have nothing to do. Now in third term we see that n equal to 0 to infinity. What is third term? Third term is here, third term of equation 3. So in third term we see that summation n equal to 0 to infinity an x to the power n plus 2. So we put n equal to n minus 2, because n equal to n plus 2 there, the power of x is n plus 2. If we put n as n minus 2, so n minus 2 plus 2 in the power of x, so plus 2 minus 2 cancel out, so x to the power n. So to make the power of x as x to the power n, we put n equal to n minus 2. Now this was the third term. Here we put n minus 2, that is n minus 2 runs from 0 to infinity, a n minus 2 x n minus 2 plus 2, and we get this thing, that is summation n runs from 2 to infinity a n minus 2 x to the power n. Now tell me if you have any doubt here.
सर सर इक्वेशन 3 में जो इक्वेशन 3 के ऊपर वाले स्टेटमेंट में देखिए x और x स्क्वायर कहाँ गया सर?
x और x स्क्वायर मल्टीप्लाइड हो गया x के साथ. देखो सेकेंड टर्म के x के साथ समेशन के अंदर वाला x का मल्टीप्लिकेशन हो गया. समेशन के अंदर वाला x का पावर था x टू द पावर n minus 1. So x to the power n minus 1 into बाहर वाला x. So x to the power n in the equation 3.
हाँ ठीक है सर.
And in third term also x to the power n into बाहर वाला x square. So x to the power n plus 2.
हाँ सर हो गया, बस यही था.
और any doubt? Okay, no doubt, I think. So I am going to the next page. So here we, in the last step, we make the power of x to the power of each term as x to the power n. Okay, and now we write each term which has n as a power of x in equation 3. So equation 3 was this. Power of first term was n, x of first term was n minus 2, second term was x to the power n, third term was n plus 2. Now putting the resulting values that we have from previous step. From previous step we get here, this is for the first term, the second term is unchanged, and the third term is from here. Okay, so we put all these values in equation 3 and we get this equation. Right, here we see that in each term the power of x is n. So in equation 4, in each term the power of x is n. So in equation 4, in each term the power of x is n. But here is also an observation. The first term, in the first term the summation starts from n equal to 0. In the second term, summation starts from n equal to 1, and in third term, the summation starts from n equal to 2. So here we have made the power of x same in the all three terms, but the summation in each term starts from a different point. Okay, so summation of the first term starts from 0, the summation second term starts from 1, the summation third term starts from 2. Okay, so although the power of x in each term is same, but the summation of each term starts from a different point. So our next job is to make sure that all the summation starts from a single point. Okay, so my next job is to make sure that all the summation starts from a single point, from a same point. Okay, now in the previous step, we write the first and second term
Sir.
from n equal to 2.
So one doubt. So why do you want to start all the summation from the same point? Can you repeat it?
Okay, you will get the answer after as the I will get the answer after completing this. Okay, you will get this. Just see, you will get your answer, I assure you. So I want to write this. I want to write each summation from a single point. Now here see that n equal to 0, in first term the summation starts from n equal to 0, the second term summation starts from n equal to 1, and in the third term summation starts from n equal to 2. Okay, now my job is I will write each summation from n equal to 2. Okay, that is the first summation starts from n equal to 0, but I have to write it from n equal to 2. The second starts from n equal to 1, I have to write it from n equal to 2, and the third is from n equal to 2. Now why? Now a question can come, why I am writing from n equal to 2? Why not I am writing the third from n equal to 0? Okay, because the first runs from n equal to 0. So if I write the terms explicitly for n equal to 0 and equal to 1, then from n equal to 2 I can write it in summation form. Okay, see the summation, it runs from n equal to 0 to infinity. We can write explicitly the terms from n equal to 0, then the terms for n equal to 1, and after that from the terms from n equal to 2, it can be written in the summation form. Okay, now for second term, the terms for explicitly for n equal to 1 can be written, then the terms from n equal to 2 has been written in the summation form. But the terms, now see the third term is from n equal to 2, but it is not possible to write the terms for n equal to 0 and n equal to 1, because the third term actually starts from n equal to 2. Okay, there is no term for n equal to 1 and n equal to 0. Okay, so we can make the first and second term runs from n equal to 2, but we cannot make the third term runs from n equal to 0. That is why we are starting from the point n equal to 2 to infinity. Okay, so in step 6 we have to write the first and second term from n equal to 2 to infinity to comply with the limits of summation of third term. Now in first term, we explicitly write the terms from n equal to 0 and n equal to 1, and then write the remaining summation which runs from 2 to infinity. In second term, we explicitly write the terms for n equal to 1 and then n equal to 2 to infinity. Okay, so see the first term here. Here the first term, the terms for n equal to 0. 0 plus 2, 0 plus 1, a0 plus 2, x to the power 0. Then terms from n equal to 1. 1 plus 2, 1 plus 1, a1 plus 2, x to the power 1. Then the remaining terms are written from n equal to 2 to infinity in summation form. Okay. Now see second term of equation 4. The term for n equal to 1, a1, 1, a1, x to the power 1. And then terms from n equal to 2 written in the summation form, and the third term starts from n equal to 2. Okay. Now this comes from 2a2, I think 2a2, and from here I get 1 plus 2, that is 3 into 1 plus 1 2. From here see, from here 2 plus 1 3, 1 plus 1 2, so 2 into 3 6, so 6 a3 x, and from here I get a1 x. Okay, now n equal to 2 to infinity. In this summation we are taking common all the terms in a single summation. Oh, okay. So, okay, this has been written explicitly. This is the summation for first term. This is summation starts from n equal to 2 to infinity for second term, and this is the summation starts from third term. Okay. Now, up to this point, if anybody has a doubt, please tell me. Okay.
सर वो 10 विकेट के बाद समझ में नहीं आया। वो 10 विकेट है ना,
के बाद हाँ उसके बाद समझ में नहीं है। अच्छा ठीक है, आई विल रिपीट दिस। और उसके पहले वाला कोई प्रॉब्लम है किसी के पास?
सर इक्वेशन 4 ठीक से समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, कैसे हुआ?
क्या फिर से बताओ?
सर इक्वेशन 4
समझ में नहीं आया। अच्छा ठीक है, ओके। ठीक है, सो आई एम गोइंग टू द टू इक्वेशन 4 को समझ में आने के लिए आई हैव टू गो टू द लास्ट पेज। ओके, सो श्वेता तुमको लास्ट पेज समझ में आया? स्टेप 5 समझ में आया था?
यस सर।
ओके, सो फर्स्ट टर्म स्टेप 5 में जो फर्स्ट टर्म था, ओके, इक्वेशन 3 में जो फर्स्ट टर्म था वो है अब ये वाला टर्म। Okay, this is the box. We have put n equal to n plus 2 in the first term, and we get this term, which is in this box. Okay, let me change the color. Which is in this box. This is the first term now. Okay, here the power of x is n. Okay, the second term, in the second term we have changed nothing, so the second term remains unchanged. Okay, and in third term, this is nothing but this equation. Okay.
Yes sir.
So first term is replaced by this, the second term is unchanged, and the third term is replaced by this equation, this term. So we have replaced this in here. This is equation 3. We have replaced those term here. So this was the first term, this is the second term, and this is the third term. So this is equation 4. Okay, now here the observation is the power of x is n in each term of equation 4, but the summation runs from different points. Okay, so in step 6 my job is to write the equation in a form so that the summation starts from a single point. Okay, and for that purpose we write explicitly the terms of the first term. The first term is here. This is the first term of equation 4. Okay, now here I have written the term for n equal to 0. Okay, I have written the term for n equal to 0 explicitly. So see the first term for n equal to 0, 0 plus 2 into n equal to 0. So here 0 plus 1, a 0 plus 2 x to the power 0. This is the term for the we are expanding the summation of the first term. For n equal to 0, this is the term, and this is the term for n equal to 1. N equal to 1, so 1 plus 2 into 1 plus 1, a 1 plus 2 x to the power 1, and then the terms from n equal to 2 to infinity, which I have written in the summation form. I have not written the terms from n equal to 2 explicitly. We have written in the summation form. So then the remaining terms are summation n equal to 2 to infinity, the n plus 2, n plus 1, x to the power n, a n plus 2. Okay, this is the remaining terms. So here for the first term, we have written the terms for n equal to 0 and n equal to 1 explicitly, and then the remaining terms in the form of summation. Okay, now go for the second term. This was the second term. Okay, now here the summation starts from n equal to 1. So I have written the terms for n equal to 1 explicitly. The terms for n equal to 1, that is 1 a1 x to the power 1 in summation n an x to the power n. So for n equal to 1, 1 a1 x to the power 1 plus the terms from n equal to 2. I have written it in the summation form. Okay, so the remaining terms, that is the terms from n equal to 2, has been written in the summation form. And then this is the third term. The third term is remain unchanged because the summation runs from n equal to 2. Okay, now here this is written as, this is 0 plus 2, that is 2 into 0 plus 1, that is 2 into 1, a0 plus 2, that is a2 x to the power 0. So x to the power 0 is 1. So this comes from 2a2. This is 2a2. Okay, now see here the second term. 1 plus 2, 3. 1 plus 1, 2. 3 into 2, therefore 6. A1 plus 2, so a3. X to the power 1 here, so x. Okay, now come here. A1x, this is A1x, and all the terms that transform, all the summation terms that transform n equal to 2 to infinity. Okay, this has been done so far. So समझ में आया 10 we get के बाद?
Yes, sir.
So any more doubt? If you have any more doubt, you can ask me. So no doubt, I think. So here you can observe that all the summation runs from n equal to 2. This is from n equal to 2. The second summation is from also n equal to 2, and here is also n equal to 2. So I can write these three summations in a single summation n equal to 2, right? So in the next step, I have written so. The first term 2a2, the second 6a3 plus a1x. I have take common x, and all summation n equal to 2 to infinity, all this term into x to the power n. Okay, see here, each term has x as a power n, each term has x to the power n, and each term runs from n equal to 2. So I can take common n equal to infinity x to the power n, then all the coefficients. Right? Agreed with me? No question? Then I can start a new thing.
Yes, sir. Continue.
Okay. So I have just taken common x to the power n and write it in the same summation n equal to 2 to infinity. So whoever has a question, Sahil has a question, I think, that why we are taking it from a single summation n equal to 2. Okay, this was your question. Yes, that is the answer, because so that we can write the remaining terms in a single summation. Okay, if there are three different summations which runs from n equal to 1, n equal to 0, n equal to 2, that is not possible to make shrink it in a single summation. And we have also make the power of x as n, so that we can take common x to the power n. Okay, so that is why we are making the power of x as n, and we are taking the summations from a single point, so that we can take common all the terms, all the coefficients, and we can shrink it in a single summation. There were three summations in the previous equation. Now, but here we have only one summation. We have written all the terms under the umbrella of a single summation.
Yes, sir.
So finally, yes. Any doubt? So finally, we got this equation. Now, step 7. Step 7 is we equate to 0 the coefficient of various power of x from this equation. Okay. So we equate to 0 the coefficients of various powers of x. So let's start from x equal to 0. And for x to the power 0, various powers of x, that is x to the power 0, we make the coefficient x to the power 0 to 0. X to the power, the coefficient of x to the power 1 to 0, the coefficient of x to the power 2 to 0. So let's first start from x to the power 0. So we are starting from x to the power 0. So the coefficient of x to the power 0 in this equation is nothing but 2a2, because 2a2 into x to the power 0 is 1. So the coefficient of x to the power 0 is 2a2. So we equate the coefficient to 0. So we write 2a2 equal to 0. So from here we get a2 equal to 0. Okay. Now we equate the coefficient of x to the power 1 to 0. So the coefficient of x to the power 1 means coefficient of x. So this is x. This is x in the equation. So the coefficient of x is this, 6a3 plus a1. So 6a3 plus a1. This is the coefficient of x. We equate this coefficient to 0. So 6a3 plus a1 equal to 0. From here we get 6a3 equal to minus a1. And from here we get a3 equal to minus a1 by 6. So remember, my objective was to write the remaining coefficients a2, a3, a4, a5 in terms of a0 and a1. Now a2 is 0 here, but a3 is minus a1 by 6. So here I am able to write a3 in terms of a1. Here I am able to write a3 in terms of a1. Okay, now I have to find the remaining more coefficients, a4, a5, a6. For that purpose, we have to find a recurrence relation. Now, how we find a recurrence relation? To find the recurrence relation, we equate to 0 the coefficient of x to the power n. Now, where is x to the power n? X to the power n is here in the equation above. The coefficient of x to the power n is nothing but this thing, that is a n plus 2 into n plus 2 n plus 1 plus n plus n minus 2. This is the coefficient of x to the power n. So we are writing the coefficient of x to the power n here. Okay, so we equate this coefficient of x to the power n to 0. Okay, now since the summation from n equal to 2, so here this recurrence relation is valid for n is greater or equal to 2. So from here we write a n plus 2. Here I have three arbitrary constant, a n plus 2, a n and a n minus 2. The greater one is a n plus 2. The greater one is a n plus 2 in terms of their appearance in Y. The greater one is a n plus 2 and the smaller one is a n and a n minus 2. Okay, now my intention is to write the greater coefficient in terms of the fellow coefficient. So the greater coefficient is a n plus 2. I am writing it in terms of a n and a n minus 2, which is the fellow coefficients. Okay. So I am repeating again. We equate to 0 different powers of x. We start from x equal to 0. So by the coefficient of x to the power 0 is a2, 2a2. So we equate 2a2 to 0 here and we find a2 equal to 0. Okay. Now we go for x equal to 1. X to the power 1. The coefficient of x to the power 1 is 6a3 plus a1. We equate it to 0. and we get A3 equal to minus A1 by 6. That is, we are able to write A3 in terms of A1. Okay. Now we have to find more coefficients, that is A4, A5, A6. And to do so, we have to find a recurrence relation. Okay. And how we got the recurrence relation? We got the recurrence relation by equate to 0 the coefficient of x to the power n. Now the x to the power n is here in the equation. See the equation above. The coefficient of x to the power n is this thing. The coefficient of x to the power n is this thing. So we write the coefficient of x to the power n here and we equate it to 0. Okay. Then I rewrite this form, that is, we write the greater coefficient a n plus 2 in terms of the appearance in y, the greater coefficient a n plus 2 in terms of the fellow coefficients a n and a minus 2. Just make some algebraic manipulation so that you can write the greater coefficient a n plus 2 in terms of a n, in terms of fellow coefficients a n, so that you can write the greater arbitrary constant a n plus 2 in terms of the fellow arbitrary constants a n and a n minus 2, and you got a relation like this. This relation is known as the recurrence relation. Now by putting, and this relation is valid for n is greater or equal to 2 because the summation was from n equal to 2. So this relation is valid for n is greater or equal to 2. Now by putting different values of n here, we get different s. That is, for n equal to 2 here, we get a2 plus 2, that is a4. We can write the value of a4 from here. For n equal to 3, we get value of a5. For n equal to 4, we get value of a6. So that from this recurrence relation, we can get the remaining arbitrary constants in terms of a0 and a1. Now how we can get this? How we can get the a3, a4, a5, a6 in terms of a0 and a1? That is in the next page. Now you ask me whether you have a doubt up to this point.
No doubt, sir.
Okay, so we are going to the next page. So here I have written the recurrence relation again. So a n plus 2 equal to this. This is the recurrence relation which is valid for n is greater or equal to 2. Now for n equal to 2, put n equal to 2 here. Okay, put n equal to 2 here. So we get a4 in the left hand side, a n plus 2, a n plus 2, that is a2 plus 2 equal to n a n. So 2a2 minus a2 minus 2, so a0 by 2 plus 2 4 into 2 plus 1 3, 4 into 3. So 2 into 0 plus a0 by 12. Okay, why 2 into 0? Because the value of a2 is 0. We have already calculated. The value of a2 is 0. We have already calculated. So we put the value of a2 0 here. So a0 is there. So ultimately a4 equal to minus a0 by 12. So from recurrence relation, we get different different arbitrary constants for different values of n. The recurrence relation is valid for n is greater or equal to 2. So we start from n equal to 2. So we put n equal to 2 in the recurrence relation and we get a4 in the LHS because a n plus 2. So a2 plus 2 is a4. And after putting n equal to 2 in the right hand side, we get this thing. That is 2a2 minus 2a2 plus a0 by 4 into 3. Now the value of a2 equal to 0 we have already calculated. Put this in place of a0, in place of a2. So we ultimately get a4 equal to minus a0 by 12. So we are able to write a4 in terms of a0. Now again we write n equal to 3. We put n equal to 3 in the recurrence relation. So in the left hand side we get a5, a3 plus 2, so a5. So in right hand side we get this 3a3 minus 3a3. We are putting n equal to 3, so minus 3a3 plus a3 minus 2, that is a1, by 3 plus 2, that is 5, into 3 plus 1, that is 4. So minus 1 by 20, 3 into, now remember that a3 is minus a1 by 6. We have already found. So we put the values of a3 as minus a1 by 6 plus a1. Okay, so minus 1 by 20. So minus a1 by 2, 3 and 6. These 3 and 6 have 2 here. So minus a by 2 plus a1. So this is minus 1 by 20, a1 by 2, that is minus a1 by 40. So a5 is minus a1 by 40. So I am able to write a5, the arbitrary constant a5, in terms of a1. Again, it is your work to check that for n equal to 4, we will get a to the power 6 as a0 by 90. So we can see that we are now able to write all the remaining arbitrary constants a2, a3, a4, a5, a6 either in terms of a0 or in terms of a1. So my last step is to put these values of remaining arbitrary constants a2, a3, a4, a5 and so on in the y. The y we have considered in step 2. The y we have considered in step 2 is this. And if we write this in the expansion form, it is a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube plus a4x to the power 4 and so on. Now putting the value of a2, a3, a4 in this equation, we get this. This y is a1 plus a0 plus a1x. a0 and a1 are fixed, I have said earlier. Now 0 into x square, a2 is 0 plus minus a1 by 6, a3 is minus a1 by 6, x cube plus minus a0 by 12. The value of a4 is minus a0 by 12 into x to the power 4 plus a5. The value of a5 is minus a1 by 40 x to the power 5 plus a0 by 90 into x square x to the power 6 and so on. Now up to this point, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. So no doubt, I think. So I'm going to the next. So we see that all the arbitrary constant, all the terms of y in the RHS either contains a0 or contains a1. So separate the terms which contains a0 and the terms which contains a1. So these are the terms which contains a0 and these are the terms which contains a1. Now take common a0 from the first terms containing a0 and separate a1 from the terms here. Okay, so this is the required series solution of the given differential equation, where we have two arbitrary constants, namely a0 and a1. So thus we get a solution, the required power series solution of the given differential equation.
सर
हाँ बोलो।
सर वो n के कितने वैल्यू तक निकालना होगा? जब आप n के निकाले उसके कितने वैल्यू तक निकालना?
A4 A5 तक तुम्हें 4-5 टर्म्स अगर मिल जाए तो ठीक है. You have to make a pattern ना. Just you have to show a pattern, then this pattern it is following up to A5 and A6. It is okay.
Okay.
তো বলছি কি আমাদের কনস্ট্যান্ট হিসাবে শুধু a0 আর a হবে, অন্য কোনো এই দুটো কনস্ট্যান্ট হবে সব কোশ্চেনের ক্ষেত্রে।
হ্যাঁ, না এখানে তো কি, এখানে কি ছিল, এখানে ডিফারেন্সিয়াল ইকুয়েশন যেটা দেওয়া হয়েছে তার অর্ডার কি ছিল, 2 ছিল। যেহেতু অর্ডার 2 ছিল সেহেতু তোমার হ্যাঁ
মানে অর্ডারের হিসাবে কনস্ট্যান্ট গুলো নেবো আমাদের।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, যদি 3 অর্ডারের ডিফারেন্সিয়াল ইকুয়েশন থাকে তাহলে তোমার a3 পর্যন্ত, a2 পর্যন্ত নিতে হবে, a0 a1 a2 ফিক্সড হবে, কারণ তাহলে সলিউশনে তিনটে তোমার আরবিট্রারি কনস্ট্যান্ট থাকবে। Okay, any other doubt? Hey, where is Sweta? Sweta, you have no doubt? So I think there is no doubt. So let me give a problem to you, and so where is share content, share file. So can you see the question? Find the power series solution of the differential equation y dashed minus 2xy equal to 0 about the point x equal to 0. So this is the question. You have to find the power series solution about the point x equal to 0. Now can anybody tell me what is the first step of this equation, of this solution?
सर इसका नेचर फाइंड करना होगा।
x इक्वल टू 0 का नेचर फाइंड करना होगा। तो x इक्वल टू 0 क्या ऑर्डिनरी पॉइंट होगा?
यस सर।
Why?
सर क्योंकि वो एनालिटिक है।
क्योंकि ये 2x जो है वो एनालिटिक है। ओके, so here the given equation is y dashed minus 2xy equal to 0. Standard form is this. Since this y double dash term is not here, so px equal to 1, which is a constant function, analytic everywhere. So analytic at x equal to 0, and qx equal to minus 2x, which is a polynomial function. So analytic everywhere. So analytic at x equal to 0. So x equal to 0 is an ordinary point. Now, can anybody tell me what will be the next steps? इसके बाद क्या होगा?
सर अपना पीडीएफ दिखाइए फिर बताते हैं।
पहले वाला?
हाँ सर वो पीडीएफ।
वो पीडीएफ तो दिखाना भी पॉसिबल नहीं है, सीरीज को बंद करना पड़ेगा। Okay, we have to take the, okay, let me see you. So let the solution will be
फाइंड करें।
y will be taken as summation n equal to 0 to infinity an x minus 0 all to the power n. That is summation n equal to 0 to infinity an x to the power n. If we write this in expansion form, this will be a0 a1 x square. This is my equation 2. And then we have to find y dashed only, because there is no terms of dy d2 by dx2. So we have to take y dashed, and y dashed will be this, and it is transform n equal to 1. Now according to the step, we have to put the value of y dashed and y in equation 1. So equation 1 was y dashed minus 2xy equal to 0. So y dashed minus 2xy equal to 0. Okay. So now multiplying this x with x to the power n. Multiplying this x with x to the power n. So this is not, this remains same. The second term is 2 summation n equal to 0 to infinity n x to the power n plus 1. Right? So you have taken y as infinite series an about the point x equal to 0. So an x minus 0 to the power n. So summation n equal to 0 to infinity an x to the power x minus 0 to the power n. So then we have to find y dashed. So we have found y dashed. Then we have to replace the value of y and y dashed in equation 1. So we have replaced the value of y and y dashed in equation 1 here, and then multiply this x with x to the power n. So by multiplying, we have the first term remains unchanged, and this is 2 into summation n equal to 0 to infinity a n x to the power n plus 1. Okay, so we get this equation. Now can anybody tell me what is my next step?
वो n में x to the power n में replace करते
Equals to
X to the power, the powers of two, there are two terms. The power of first term is x to the power n minus 1. The power of second term of x is n plus 1. We have to convert it to n.
Yes.
Okay, so we put n equal to n plus 1 in the first term. So see here, n minus 1. So we have to put n equal to n plus 1 in the first term. So that get x to the power n, and n equal to n minus 1 in the second term. So we get x to the power n, right? So we put n equal to n plus 1 in the first term of LHS and n equal to n minus 1 in the second term of LHS. So by putting, we get n plus 1 transform 1 to infinity n plus 1 into n plus 1 x to the power n plus 1 minus 1 minus 2 into n minus 1 in the second term. So n minus 1 runs from 0 to infinity n minus 1 x to the power n minus 1 plus 1. Okay. So this n plus 1 equal to 1. So this is n equal to 0 to infinity. 1 and 1 cancel out. So n plus 1, n plus 1, n plus 1 x to the power n minus 2 into n equal to 1 to infinity, n minus 1 equal to 0, n minus 1 equal to 0 here. So n equal to 1 to infinity, n minus 1 x to the power n equal to 0. So we have the power of x as n. Now अब क्या करना होगा?
एक्सप्लिसिट करना होगा, मतलब तोड़ना होगा n इक्वल्स टू 0 को n इक्वल्स समेशन को सेम करना होगा.
समेशन को सेम करना होगा. So समेशन को किस पॉइंट से सेम करना होगा?
1 से
1 से सेम करना होगा. So here, so we have to write the first term of this, the first term for n equal to 0 explicitly, right? So here,
yes.
okay, these are the just before part. So this was my equation. I have got another step. So we are writing the first term explicitly, n equal to 0. So a 0 plus 1 into 0 plus 1 x to the power 0, and the remaining part in the summation n equal to 1 to infinity. Okay, and this is from n equal to 1 to infinity equal to 0. So this is nothing but a1, and all the remaining terms, this is the, here is x to the power n, here is x to the power n. So we take x to the power n common, and the summation both transform n equal to 1. So we have written it in the one summation. Okay. So अब क्या करना होगा? इसके बाद का स्टेप,
कोएफिशिएंट्स को 0 से इक्वेट करना होगा.
okay, so x to the power 0 का कोएफिशिएंट है a1, right?
a1
So a1 is 0 here. Now here is an observation. See that the given differential equation, what is the order of the given differential equation? I am going to the question page. Okay. What is the order of this differential equation?
1 sir.
The order of the differential equation is 1. because the highest order derivative is 1.
Is
The order
one.
of the highest order derivative is 1. So the order of the differential equation is 1. So the solution of the differential equation contains only one arbitrary constant. Okay. So we will fix A0 as the arbitrary constant, and we write A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, all these remaining arbitrary constants in terms of A0. Okay. So see here. Now we get this equation. Now my job is to equating to 0 the coefficients of different powers of x. So this is the equation I have written again. So equating to 0 the coefficient of x to the power 0. The coefficient of x to the power 0 is a1. If we equate to 0, we get a1 equal to 0. Now we have to find the recurrence relation. We have to find the recurrence relation. To find the recurrence relation, what we have to do? We have to equate to 0 the coefficient of x. We have to equate to 0 the coefficient of x to the power n. We have to equate to 0 the coefficient of x to the power n. Now this is x to the power n. So the coefficient of x to the power 0 is x to the power n is this thing. So you have to equate to 0 the coefficient of x to the power n. The coefficient of x to the power n is an plus 1 into n plus 1 minus 2 an minus 1 equal to 0. We get to 0 the coefficient of x to the power n. Then we write the greater coefficient in terms of the fellow coefficient. So the greater coefficient is an plus 1. So we have to write it in terms of an minus 1. So an plus 1 has been written in terms of an minus 1. So this is the recurrence relation. So recurrence relation is an plus 1 equal to 2 by n plus 1 into an minus 1. Now by putting for different values n, so n starts from 1 to infinity. See the equation, n turns from 1 to infinity. So here n will be from 1 to n will be greater or equal to 1. N equal to get here you have to write n is
Hello,
greater or equal to
sir.
1. Yes.
হ্যাঁ স্যার, এই ক্লাসটা আর কতক্ষণ চলবে জিজ্ঞেস করছি আর কি।
এই তো আর 3টে স্লাইড আছে।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ,
আর 3টে স্লাইড আছে, এই অঙ্কটা শেষ করেই ছেড়ে দেবো।
আচ্ছা
আর
ঠিক
5
আছে।
মিনিট লাগবে খুব বেশি হলে। So this is my recurrence relation. An plus 1 equal to minus is equal to 2 by n plus 1 an minus 1. Now if we put n equal to 1, we get a2 equal to minus 2 by 2 a0. N plus 1 n equal to 1, a2 equal to 2 by 2 a0. That is a2 equal to a0. If we put n equal to 2, we get a3 equal to 0. Okay. And if we get n equal to 3, we get a4 equal to a0 by factorial 2. n4 equal to, for n equal to 4, a5 equal to 0. For n equal to 5, a6 equal to a0 by factorial 3. Okay. So we see that all the remaining coefficients a1, a2, a3, a4, a5 is either 0 or in terms of a to the in terms of a0. So I have written all the remaining constants in either 0 or in terms of a0. Okay. So now we put all these values of a1, a2, a3 in the equation in y. So y was y equal to a0 plus a1x plus a2x square and so on. So we have put the values of a0, a1, a0 is 0, a1 is a0, a1 is 0, a2 is a0, a3 is 0, a4 is a0 by factorial to x to the power 4 and so on. Okay. So I have take common a0 and this is 1 plus x square plus 1 by 2 1 by factorial to x to the power 4 plus 1 by factorial 3 x to the power 6 and so on. So I am writing this thing in different 1 plus x square plus 1 by factorial 2. I can write x to the power 4 as x square plus 1 by factorial 3 x square cube and so on. So this is 1 plus x square plus 1 by factorial 2 x square plus 1 by factorial 3 x square cube plus 1 by factorial 4 x square to the power 4. So this is nothing but, this infinite series is nothing but the expansion of e to the power x square. So we get y equal to a0 e to the power x square. So this is the required power series solution about the point x equal to 0 of the given equation. Now here is an observation. The given equation was y dash minus 2xy equal to 0. This can be solved analytically. If we solve in the general form just by the integration, you will get y equal to a0 e to the power x square. So the result we get from the power series solution is exactly equal to the result we get by analytically. Okay, by the general form to solve the differential equation. This particularly this differential equation can be solved very easily by the integration method, by the variable separation method. Okay, so we can get a exact solution. The exact solution is y equal to a0 x square. Now if I solve this differential equation by the power series solution method, the answer we get, which is exactly equal to the answer we have got analytically. Okay, so this was the observation. Now any problem, any doubt? If you have any doubt, you can ask me now. Okay, I think there is no doubt at all. So let's done. We are done. Today's class is completed. So no doubt. So I will close the meeting now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. You can leave now. I am closing the meeting.